And we are back from the CSI softball complex ahead of the start of today's NCAA Division II women's softball doubleheader game 2 between the College of Staten Island and Molloy University. Dolphins took game 1 by a final score of 4-3, and Molloy made a late lineup change. We're trying to get that sorted out now. May have to wait until Molloy is in the field to do this because I took a photo of the lineup through the fence and it's not quite clear. Either way, leading off, it's May Savage. She faces Kennedy Ruth, who gets the start for the Dolphins here in Game 2. Ruth has typically gotten the start in most of the Game 1s for CSI, as that's fouled off. Have to get my pen, make sure we get the correct scoring for everything. Once again, Joe Foreman on the call, pulling double duty on both stats and play-by-play today. 2 computers, a cell phone, and a much more extensive setup than I would prefer. But we got through Game 1. The Dolphins came from behind, trailed by as many as 3 runs, came back, won it 4-3. As that's hit in the air out to the left, Acosta under it, and she makes the catch, 1 away. That will bring up Alexis Montgomery.
Number 32, Alexis Montgomery.
That's off the glove of Kanoth, ball 1. The 1-0. High and outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0. Line to short. Balderas knocks it down, but no play at first. And it's an infield single for Montgomery. That will bring up Natalie Musa.
Number 8, Natalie Musa.
And Musa looks at a strike. As I mentioned earlier, Musa got the Game 2 start in the circle against the Dolphins when these two teams last met. She will get the start in the circle once again here in Game 2 today, as she crushes one foul off the fence in the left field corner, 0-2. Dolphins, with a win in this game, set themselves up for what might be the biggest doubleheader since their finale last season against Mercy on Tuesday. Those two teams have been battling for a playoff spot for the last 2 seasons. The Mavericks got the better of the Dolphins last year, as that's blooped out to shallow right center. Nobody there, as it's down for a base hit. That will bring up Sherilyn Ducharme.
Number 2, Sherilyn Ducharme.
First pitch to Ducharme, up high, ball 1. The Lions had a lot of traffic on the bases early in Game 1. Were able to capitalize to the tune of 3 runs. Here comes the 1-0. Popped up foul. Count even at 1. That's it on the ground to short, and it gets through Balderas and into left field. That's going to be an E6 as a run comes in to score. And Molloy takes an early 1-0 lead.
Number 34, Stevie Dabadi.
That will bring up Stevie Dabadi. Dabadi behind 0-1. The Game 1 starting pitcher was 0 for 3 at the plate for Molloy. Suffered the loss in a complete game outing. She's now 11-13 as she rips a base hit into left. It gets by Acosta and all the way to the fence. 2 runs will come in to score, and into second base standing with a 2 RBI double is Stevie Dabadi. The Lions now lead the Dolphins 3-0. Dolphins will talk this over in the circle as Molloy has jumped out in front by 3 here in the first inning. Already 3 hits for the Lions, helped along by a Dolphins error. A pair of singles and a double have put Molloy ahead. Still trying to take a look at perhaps where we have an issue with the Molloy lineup. Really tough to tell. It looks like on the lineup card they have 2 shortstops, which is the issue we've run into here. It might just be a swap between 2 players at catcher and DP. I think that's what they did, but I think it was mislabeled because they do have 2 shortstops on the lineup card I was given here. So I'm waiting for Molloy to take the field. That way I can see who belongs where.
Number 25, Mariah Cepeda.
Mariah Cepeda, the batter here. Runner in scoring position. Still just 1 out in the first. The 1-0 pitch. Popped up, foul territory. Acosta there. And she reaches over her shoulder to make the catch, throws to third. Not in time. Good base running to advance on that pop-up and foul ground by Dabadi.
29, Emily McGurk.
Dolphins now looking for the final out of the inning here. Runner on third, 2 away, and that's taken outside for ball 1. Emily McGurk, the batter. And that's taken in the dirt, 2-0. 2-0. Hit high in the air out to left. Acosta there. And she's got it. Side retired. But not before Molloy strikes for 3 runs in the first inning. They jump ahead of the Dolphins, 3-0. CSI comes to bat when we come back. Anissa Acosta leads things off for the Dolphins here in the home first inning. Someone has to stop the music. All right. Triple duty for me today. Apparently, I'm the audio producer as well. Acosta ahead 1-0. 2-0 now. And 3-0. So Acosta has looked at 3 pitches, not close. And Musa has missed with 3 straight to begin her outing. And Acosta draws the walk. That will bring up Mariah Carcano. Carcano looks at a knee-high strike, 0-1. Comes the 0-1. High 1-1. Still trying to catch up in scoring the last inning. We're almost there, but I really can't continue with statting the game if I missed an entire half inning. So we're trying to get caught up here. As that's lined to short, and Acosta is doubled off first. Tough break there for the Dolphins, as we saw for the Lions in Game 1. The Lions were doubled off on a line drive to third. The Dolphins get doubled off on the liner to short.
The right fielder, number 30, Amanda Stalker.
Amanda Stalker, the batter here. She takes away for ball 1. The 1-0, popped up on the infield. And the catch is made at second by Savage to retire the side. Natalie Musa works around a leadoff walk. She faces the minimum in the home first. We head to the second. Lions over the Dolphins, 3-0. Second inning from the CSI softball complex about to get underway. Casey Kissinger will lead things off for Molloy. And Kissinger takes ball 1. Long look in ahead of the 1-0. That's taken down and in for ball 2. The 2-0. 3-0. Ruth has opened the second inning with 3 straight misses, much like Musa did to begin the game. 3-0, misses for ball 4. 4-pitch walk to begin the inning. That will bring up Amaya Page.
Number 33, Amaya Page.
Page in the early game was 0 for 2. Dancing off of first is Kissinger, but she does not draw a throw. And the 1-0 is bunted foul down the third base line, out of play. All right, live stats up and running. Throw to second, and it's a stolen base for Kissinger very easily. She takes second. Count 2-1 on the batter, Page. Pitch misses badly for ball 3. Dolphins are going to get some action going in the bullpen. Alexandra Frenza just beginning to get warm now, as that's fouled back. Ruth thus far just hasn't had the strike zone. She has a full count on Page here, 3-2. Talia Knoth now having a word with the dugout here. Comes the 3-2 pitch. Line to the left. Fair ball just inside the line, and that will score a run. The throw comes into second, and that was the right play there as the Dolphins hold Page to a single, but it's a run-scoring RBI single for the Lions right fielder, and that is going to spell the end for Kennedy Ruth. Pitching change for the Dolphins here. Frenza on, Ruth out of the game. Nobody out here in the second. Our score, 4-1 Lions. And we are back from the College of Staten Island, where the Lions
Number 10, May Savage.
have turned it back over to the top of the order. Leadoff hitter May Savage to the plate as the Dolphins go to the bullpen. Alexandra Frenza in the game. Kennedy Ruth removed after an inning plus. Did not record an out in the second. Allowed 4 runs on 4 hits. Is responsible for the runner on first as Savage bunts. And the Dolphins get the out at first. Nicely done by the Dolphins there to get the out on that play. There's now 1 gone in the inning on the sacrifice. That will bring up
Number
Alexis
32,
Montgomery.
Alexis Montgomery.
Montgomery singled her first time up, and she takes high for ball one. Comes the 1-0. In for a strike, 1-1. Page, the runner on second, one away here in the road half of inning number 2. That's taken high, 2-1. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that's fouled away. It stays 2-2. The 2-2. Up high, ball 3. Over at baseball, they are entering the bottom of the 8th. The Dolphins lead at 12-8 over Stack. As here at softball, Frenza misses with ball 4. So Montgomery draws a walk. And that will bring up Natalie Musa with a chance to help her own cause. Already 4 runs home from Molloy. And Musa has a big opportunity to break this game open with an extra base hit.
Number 8, Natalie Musa.
Pitch from Frenza. In for a strike, 0-1. The 0-1. This is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Musa in the early game was 2 for 4 with a run batted in. Doubled homer run in the first inning of that game. And the count evens up, 1 ball and 1 strike. Make that 2-1. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. And we've spoken about it many times all season. One of the biggest improvements for Alexandra Frenza this year has been the swing and miss rate. The strikeouts are up. And that's been a big reason why her ERA is way down. As that's hit in the air to right. Stalker is under it, makes the catch. Checks both runners, and that's some throw to third. 2 gone in the inning. And the Lions will send the cleanup hitter, Sherilyn Ducharme, to the plate.
The designated player, number 2, Erlyn Ducharme.
And Ducharme hits one well to left. Acosta going back on it, makes the catch. And the side is retired. So Frenza comes out of the Dolphins bullpen, inherits a base runner, and does not allow any further damage. Dolphins come to bat in the home second, trailing 4-0. Eileen Balderas leads off for the Dolphins here in the home second inning. CSI trails 4-0 as Balderas takes a strike. Dolphins trailed in game 1 by 3. Got one back in the home second inning and took the lead for good in the 5th as that's dribbled to third. Throw across the diamond in time, and Balderas is retired for out number 1. That will bring up Olivia Wanzer.
Number 38, Olivia Wanzer.
Wanzer, during game 1, was 0 for 2 at the plate with a walk. She fouls back the first pitch here, 0-1. Comes the 0-1. That skips past Wanzer. 1 ball and 1 strike. Take a look at the ECC standings in just a moment. We'll have to see if they updated those to reflect the games at Deauville. There was a stats issue there at some point earlier this week, and those games were not reflected in the conference standings as of last night. They are still not reflected, as that's hit sharply to short, knocked down by Kissinger, and she throws out Wanzer for out number 2. Mercy is facing Deauville today. They won game 1 by a final score of 7-1. Game 2 just getting underway. We'll get you scoring updates on that game throughout this one. That game obviously of great importance to the Dolphins, and now for the Mavericks, it's of even greater importance with the Dolphins continuing their ascent up the conference standings. The 1-0 to Olivia Warner is off the glove of the catcher Cepeda. Two 2-0 the count on the Dolphins' third baseman. And the 2-0 is hit in the air to straightaway center. Ball carried pretty well, but it's caught, and the side is retired. The Dolphins go down 1-2-3 in the second. Their deficit remains 4-0 as we head to the third. Stevie DeBody will lead things off from Molloy here in the third inning. Lions lead the Dolphins 4-0. As I mentioned, we'll keep track of the game between Deauville and Mercy as well. CSI fans with a vested interest in the result of that game. Dolphins, even with a perfect end to the season of 4-0, might need some help. They might need one win elsewhere if they don't win this game. A win for Mercy would get them to 6 conference wins. The Dolphins currently at 5. However, Mercy currently 3 games ahead of the Dolphins in the loss column. Dolphins 5-9, Mercy 5-6. As that's fouled back again. And the count goes to 0-2 on Dabadi. Dabadi doubled her first time up, drove in a couple of runs. 2 of the 3 Mercy runs make that Molloy runs in the first inning. Too much talk about other teams in the conference. So that's popped up and foul once again behind home plate. Count remains 0-2 on the Lions' first baseman. That's taken outside 1-2. Meanwhile, in Dobbs Ferry, the Mavericks have loaded the bases against the Uville. Nobody out. In the bottom of the third, it's now 2-0 Mavericks. Mercy poised for a big inning there, as that's crushed foul. The body all over that one. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's chopped to Balderas at short. She handles cleanly and throws out to Body for out number 1. 1 away in the inning now. And Mariah Cepeda will be the batter.
The catcher, number 25, Mariah Cepeda.
Cepeda fouled out along the first base line her first time up. And she takes high for ball 1. Comes the 1-0. That's it well out to left center field, and that will find the gap for an extra base hit. Carcano couldn't cut it off. She scoops it up on the warning track, and Cepeda will stop at second with a 1-out double. Big swing there by Cepeda, as she sent that one all the way to the warning track. Lions now with a 1-out base runner have another chance with a base runner in scoring position, as we're going to have a pinch runner over at second base. Megan Wagle, the flex player, will run at second for Cepeda. And now Emily McGurk is the batter as she takes low for ball 1. McGurk flew out to left her first time up. Here comes the 1-0. Up and away, 2-0. To McGurk. In for a strike, 2-1. Over at baseball, Dolphins now lead Stack 14-8. That game in the bottom of the 8th, the Dolphins tacking on some insurance. As the 2-1 misses down and in, ball 3. In Dobbs Ferry, just 1 out in the home third inning. Mercy leads to Uville 4-0. 3-1. Popped up. Foul ground. And a big collision between Warner and Kanoth ends with a putout by the Dolphins catcher. Kanoth saying she's good. Warner back up after she was spilled down to the dirt and foul territory. What a catch by Kanoth in there as well. I don't know how she held on through that collision. 2 away in the inning now, and Casey Kissinger will be the batter. Kissinger walked her last time. No official at bat yet in here in game 2.
The shortstop, number 5, Casey Kissinger.
Pitch to Kissinger, up and away, ball 1. That's a big second out for the Dolphins with a runner in scoring position. They look to keep this a 4-run game here in the third. 1-0. In for a strike, 1-1. The 1-1. This is for ball 2. 2-1 now on Kissinger. That's taken out of the zone, 3-1. So Kissinger, the number 8 hitter, ahead 3-1. Amaya Page on deck, and then it's back to the top of the order. So you'd love to get one of these next 2 batters out. And that has popped up, almost a carbon copy of the pop-up in foul territory just moments ago. And this time, Knoth makes the catch, unimpeded. Lions strand 1 in scoring position here in the third. Dolphins come to bat when we come back, trailing 4-0. Natalia Knoth leads things off for the Dolphins here in the home third inning. CSI trailing 4-0, and a bit of misfortune for Knoth. Had that collision with Warner in foul ground, then collided with the fence, and now has to bat. And wouldn't you know it, she delivers a base hit. A line drive right back up the middle, and Knoth is on to lead things off for the Dolphins here in the third. That will bring up Bridget Motley.
The second baseman, number 19, Bridget Motley.
First pitch to Bridget Motley in the dirt, ball 1. Good block behind the plate by Cepeda, who re-entered after the flex player, Megan Wagle, pinch ran for her in the previous half inning. The 1-0. In for a strike. There goes Knoth. Throw to second. Not in time. Aggressive base running by Natalia Knoth, and she steals second. Count on Motley now 1-1. Knoth in scoring position over at second base. And Motley lines one toward the hole. Stopped at second by Savage. And Knoth moves up to third. Motley retired 4-3. Knoth moves up. And now Alyssa Acosta has a chance with a runner on third and just 1 out. Acosta takes a strike. She's behind 0-1. Infield, then in the corners. More so over at first than at third. Here comes the 0-1. High and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. Just missed, 2-1. Here comes the 2-1. Line foul, and the count evens up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is a run, if you're the Dolphins, that you have to have here in the third. Musa has been strong in the circle for Molloy thus far. The 2-2. Low for ball 3. And if you're Musa, you cannot walk Acosta here and turn it back over to the top of the lineup with just 1 out. 3-2 now on Acosta. And she fouls back another. Yet another quality at bat from a Dolphins hitter. And you love to see that from the bottom of the lineup. Acosta in the 9 slot here today. Musa consults the wristband ahead of another 3-2. And she misses for ball 4. Great at bat by Alyssa Acosta. And the Dolphins will bring Anissa Acosta to the plate with the tying run in the on-deck circle.
The first baseman, number 34, Anissa Acosta.
Runners on the corners, 1 out. Dolphins trail 4-0, and this has turned into what the Dolphins hope will become a big inning. First pitch to Acosta. Low ball 1. The 1-0. In for a strike, 1-1. Over at baseball, a 6-run Dolphins lead has been cut down to 3 in the 9th. A 3-run homer for Stack has made it 14-11 Staten Island. The count on Acosta, 1-1 here at softball. Pitch on its way, and that's fouled off. 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes the count on the Dolphins' leadoff hitter. Runners on the corners, 1 out. And Acosta takes high, 2-2. Count even on Acosta, 2-2. And that's chopped to short, knocked down on the backhand. Throw goes to second for 1. And they do not get Acosta at first. That was a very similar play to one that Kissinger had in Game 1. She did not make the play in Game 1 on the chopper. And now the Dolphins with 2 outs in the inning will send Mariah Carcano to the plate. Pitch to Carcano. Up high for ball 1. Carcano lined into a double play back in the first. Hit the ball pretty well, but right at the shortstop. And very quickly, Molloy turned 2. Carcano takes a strike there, 1-1. The 1-1. Up high, 2-1. Comes the 2-1. Outside ball 3. And if you're Musa, this is a batter you absolutely cannot walk. Amanda Stalker, who's been red hot, stands in the on-deck circle. And Musa is now behind Carcano 3-1. Pitch on its way. In for a strike. And you get the sense Carcano may have been taking all the way there. Count full, 3-2. Acosta will be moving on the pitch. The payoff. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Carcano goes down swinging to end the home third inning, and the Dolphins strand 2 on the corners. We are through 3 from the CSI softball complex. Molloy still leads Staten Island 4-0.
The right fielder, number 33, Amaya Page.
They have gone final over at the baseball diamond. Dolphins win 14-11. Here at softball, the Dolphins are looking to make it a sweep against Molloy, but it is the Lions leading by 4 as we begin the 4th inning. At the plate for Molloy to get things started in the road 4th is Amaya Page. And Page takes a strike. Count 0-2. 9-1-2 due up from Molloy here in the 4th. And that's ripped into right field. Fair ball. And it rolls into the corner for a base hit. Stalker bobbled it for a moment, but she recovers quickly. And Page stops at second with a leadoff double. Thought perhaps we might be getting a pinch runner. Instead, they are passing equipment into the bench from Page over at second.
10, May Savage.
That will bring up May Savage, the Molloy leadoff hitter. Savage 0 for 2 here in game 2. Flew out to left and was retired on a bunt. Now, it does not show me if that bunt was a sacrifice. I believe it was, so that would make Savage 0 for 1 rather than 0 for 2. That pitch taken on the inside corner, 1-1. And Savage is indeed 0 for 1, did sacrifice her second time. The 1-1. Low ball 2. Now with the victory music playing over at baseball, I'm curious to see if Nick makes his way down here to join me briefly at softball. Comes the 2-1, and that's a ripped foul. Heads up in the Dolphins dugout, down in the bullpen area. Count now even on Savage, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2. Fouled straight back. It remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Savage, at the very least, hoping to move Page over to third. And that gets through Canoth. And to the backstop, the runner will move up. That one probably goes down as a passed ball, but to be fair, I have no view of it whatsoever. And I think next year we're moving up into the seating bowl to get a higher perspective of the area immediately surrounding home plate. Back in 2021, we broadcasted games from the seating area, and it definitely made our view of the field much better. Definitely our view of the batter and the catcher. As that's popped up, shallow left. Will they challenge Acosta? They will. Throw to the plate just a bit late. And it's a sacrifice fly for Savage. Molloy goes in front by 5. It's now 5-0 Lions. One away here in the 4th. And Alexis Montgomery will be the batter.
The center fielder, number 32, Alexis Montgomery.
Montgomery, 1 for 1, has singled and walked in 2 at-bats, and she slaps that one foul, 0-1. It's still 4-0 Mavericks in Dobbs Ferry. The score the Dolphins keeping a close eye on. Comes the 0-1. Up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1. Low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two one. Outside ball 3. Three and 1. Hit into the glove of the leaping Motley. A soft line drive that seemed destined for right center field is snagged by Motley. And there are 2 gone in the inning. That's the second nice play we've seen by the Dolphins infield on a line drive like that today. Here's one more look at it. Two away in the inning now for Natalie Musa. Musa 1 for 2 with a single and a fly out to right field. She's ahead here 1-0. Pitch on its way. Popped up and out of play, foul ball. The 1-1. Foul back. One ball and 2 strikes, the count on the Lions pitcher. 2 away here in the road 4th, and Musa fouls off another. The 1-2. Fought off, foul yet again. It stays 1-2. One, two. Popped up. And Friends has got it to retire the side. Lions tack on a run in the 4th. Their lead now 5-0 as we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Amanda Stalker leads things off for the Dolphins in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Stalker popped out on the infield her first time up, and she sends the first pitch foul, 0-1. The 0-1. On the inside corner, 0-2. Comes the 0-2 pitch. Grounded foul. And the count remains 0-2. Dolphins have been held to just one hit in this game. That belongs to Natalia Knoth, and ironically enough, it came after her collision with Olivia Warner, her coming together with the fence on the final putout of the previous half inning, and she smoked a base hit into center. Another 0-2, fouled straight back. Another 0-2 on its way here. Low and away. Score in Dobbs Ferry, still 4-0, top 5 between Mercy and Duville. 1-2 pitch. Up high, 2-2. Stalker has worked it back from 0-2 to 2-2, leading off for the Dolphins here in the home fourth. 2-2 pitch. Down and in, ball 3. Another quality at bat from a Dolphins hitter. 2 strike counts haven't meant much for many of these Dolphin bats. They've been able to work their way back. Stalker has run it full. The payoff pitch. Hit well toward the middle, base hit. As that rolls into left center field, Stalker has a leadoff single and her first hit of game 2.
The shortstop, number 27, Eileen Balderas.
Eileen Balderas at the plate now. As there's a conversation going on here. And it's going to be a pinch runner. So Deanna Du Bois will run for Stalker.
76 for 30.
Pinch running for the Dolphins, number 76, Deanna Du Bois.
So Du Bois takes over running at first, ahead of the Eileen Balderas at bat. Balderas 0 for 1, grounded out to third her first time up. First pitch coming. And that misses for ball 1. The 1-0 to Balderas. Outside, 2-0. Pitch. Up high, ball 3. So all of a sudden, Musa having some command issues. Stalker ran an 0-2 count full, delivered a base hit. And now, it's 3-0 on Balderas. And Balderas takes up and away. Ball 4. And how about that bat flip and catch? I don't think the camera caught it. It did not. But Balderas flipped the bat to Wanzer, who caught it on a fly. That bat had some wicked spin. It was not a straight toss. She flipped the bat so that it was pinwheeling through the air, and Wanzer still caught it. That's one way to make your entrance into the batter's box. First pitch to Wanzer, low for ball 1. Olivia 0 for 1 at the plate, grounded to short her first time. And the Dolphins, trailing by 5, need to convert here in this inning. Their first 2 batters have reached. Musa now has missed with 5 straight. And that's 6. The coach Tracy Garofalo passing that information over to Wanzer. Two-0 pitch. And that's popped up. Foul. I like that swing by Wanzer. Trailing by 5. If they give you one right down the middle, she's a candidate to put one over the fence. A lot of people will not like that swing, however. It's 2-1 now. And Wanzer hits one well out to right field. Just got under it a bit. Du Bois heads for third. The throw comes into second. And the Dolphins, for the second straight inning, have runners on the corners with 1 out.
The third baseman, number 42,
Olivia Warner, the batter. And I think playing in the 4th inning, trailing by 5, the run at third is a run you have to have. It felt that way in the previous inning with a runner on third. Dolphins did not score as Warner looks at strike 1. But we'll get a bit later in the game, another run home from Molloy since that last inning. The Dolphins have to have this one. Ground ball to a middle infielder should get the run in. The 0-1, fouled away, and Warner's quickly in a 2-strike hole. 0-2 the count on Warner. And she grounds one to the left side, diving stop. Du Bois hesitated and is safe at the plate. Oh my goodness. What a close play at home as the Dolphins get a run. It's now 5-1. We'll get one more look at it on replay because I'm not sure she got in there. I also have no idea why she hesitated. Here's another look.
the catcher, number 24, Natalia Cano.
Yeah, I thought she was out. Here's Nick. A bit later than I expected, but he's here as that's grounded toward the middle. Diving stop it short. Kissinger from her knees throws out Cano.
What a play by Kissinger right there, Joe.
And what an entrance by Nicholas Pavona as the Dolphins are denied further damage here in the 4th inning. We are through 4 from the CSI softball complex, and we will stay right here. The Dolphins now trailing 5-1. But Nick, welcome back to the broadcast. You joined us for the pregame ahead of Game 1. Fill us in on what happened over at the baseball diamond.
Very high-scoring affair once again, and of course, Joe, at baseball. 14-11 Dolphin victory in that one. They go to 8-6 now in conference play. Very close game to call on that one. Dolphins gave up a 3-run homer in the 9th inning. Thankfully, we're able to hold on in that one. But here at softball, now 5-1 game in this one. We saw a 3-run deficit erased by the Dolphins in Game 1. Can they erase the 4-run deficit that they currently face here in Game 2?
Well, the Dolphins get one back in the home 4th inning. That certainly helps, but Natalie Musa has been really good in this game, and CSI absolutely cannot afford to go behind any further. Now, we spoke about it during this game several times already, but over in Dobbs Ferry, Mercy has taken Game 1 from Dieuville. They are leading Game 2 4-0 in the bottom half of the 6th inning. So no good news for the Dolphins in terms of that doubleheader, but the Dolphins do get a win in Game 1 here. If they do not win Game 2, they would fall to 5-9, make it, I believe, 5-9 or 5-10. I lost it after Game 1.
5-10.
But they can't have an odd number.
The
6-10.
designated player, number 2,
6-10.
Sherilyn Deschamps.
I had those ECC standings up, Nick.
It's weird because I was saying the conference record at the end of once your game
Yeah.
ended, and I just didn't think of it once.
I'll
right?
send an
It's
email
6-10.
tomorrow if it's not updated, but the conference standings on the ECC website right now are not correct. that's hit a mile high, foul territory, out of play. Sherilyn Ducharme at the plate here. She's 0 for 2, reached on an error and flew out to left.
The only issue we had to fix over, the reason why I'm a little bit later than I expected, we were just making sure we had all the right earned and unearned runs. That third inning, a lot of errors happened in that inning, even a catcher's interference, which we haven't seen very often, but that technically goes down as an error, so we had to make sure that we had the right earned and unearned spot in that inning. Hopefully, we do have it at the end of the day.
The thing with catcher's interference is that's grounded to third. Nice play there by Warner,
Nice
moving
snag.
to her left, and she throws out Ducharme for the first out. On catcher's interference, when you charge the error and that runner reaches base, you really can't assume the batter should have been out.
Right.
So in terms of earned, unearned, how do you really figure that? I've never had to score that
That's why
way.
we were deciding, because it allowed the Dolphins later on in the inning to have the bases loaded, and Chris Palomini would get a bases clearing single, which also came into an
Bases
error
clearing single.
because the ball went into left field on a bad bounce and went past the left fielder. So he got to first base, got to second via the error and left. Like I said, a very, very
It wouldn't be the CSI baseball complex if there weren't some bad bounces.
yeah. I was trying to think of like the right adjective or word to use for the inning. I guess wonky was almost
Fluky?
Fluky. I don't know if fluky is the right word.
Unusual,
Unusual is definitely the word I used at some point.
bonkers.
Bonkers.
If you want to get more
There's
colorful.
think about this, 7 errors in that game, but also a lot of home runs in that game. 3 for the Dolphins, 1 for the Spartans at the tail end.
Previous batter, Stevie DeBody, flew out to deep center, making a home run bid. It's now Mariah Cepeda at the plate, ahead 1-0. 1-0 on its way. That's low for ball 2.
And you mentioned already the game right now with Mercy as well as this game right here. So still a little bit of time left in the Dolphins season, but with the way this game is going, the way Mercy's game is going, Dolphins really could afford the victory here if they can come back and get the win. But if they don't, then it will make things a little bit more difficult these next couple of weeks. Of course, that doubleheader this Tuesday against Mercy becomes even more larger than ever.
The Dolphins, if they do not win this game, as I very incoherently mentioned before, would be 6-10.
Yes.
If they do not win. If Mercy goes on to win, which it appears they will, leading by 4, heading to the 7th, if they win, they are now 6-6. So they will have 4 games in the win column, or I should say 4 games in the loss column over the
Right.
Dolphins, and Dolphins, without question, will need some help down the stretch. They can win both, but they will need some help near the end of the season. They got some from the Knights earlier in the week, as that's hit well out to right center, and Cepeda is going to have her second extra base hit of the game. Dolphins track that ball down on the warning track, and it's a 2-out double for the Lions catcher.
Cepeda drilled that one into right center field. Nice base hit to keep the inning going for the Lions here. They give them an RBI opportunity with 2 gone. A bunch of times, I will say in our game, Joe, I had to make sure I wasn't going to say the other team name, because we were saying the Spartans, obviously, but it's kind of the same team color scheme with Molloy. So I was trying to make sure I wasn't saying Lions a lot when I was calling our games.
Excuses.
Well, I never did it. I'm saying I was trying to make sure I didn't say it.
Well, I did it inadvertently say
well,
Mavericks instead of Lions. I was talking about the other doubleheader.
Do I throw a certain someone under the bus, though?
Depends. Who is it?
Someone that's been thrown under the bus a lot of times before?
Well, that's okay. Go ahead.
He might have said Lions during a pitching change for Stack, and then immediately caught himself. But
Did he correct it on PA?
yes,
Okay.
he corrected it. But then I had Steph come to the next room and say that's kind of my fault because I kept relaying him the softball score while he was doing it. So
Steph said Luke
Steph
cannot go under the bus by himself. I'll join him.
yeah, she had to join him on that spot.
1 ball and 2 strikes the count on Emily McGurk. And she fouls back another. It stays 1-2.
As I mentioned, for both of us, we'll be back here Tuesday for baseball. After today, they are back at Stack on Monday. And then Thursday as well, they'll be playing back home here, but at the SIUH Community Park for the Heroes game, which should be a great game and a great atmosphere.
Hopped up
That game, of course, against Felicia University, as that takes a nice bounce off the
into
bleachers.
seats. You said we'd be back here for baseball on Tuesday. It's softball.
Softball.
Softball here at the
Excuse me.
CSI softball
Softball
complex.
Tuesday, baseball Thursday.
All
You'll
right.
be on the call with Joe Calabrese on Thursday.
Looks
for
that way.
game.
As that's taken outside, 2-2.
Joe, very excited to call that game with you, so I'm sure that'll be a great spectacle, as every Heroes Day is here at CSI.
A single game beginning at 7 p.m. You don't see it too often.
Not very often.
That's popped up foul again. Throw yourself, Pat. What are you doing?
Pat, of course, our pitch clock operator over at baseball. He was getting a little bit, worrisome because the home plate umpire wasn't making the motion to start the clock. So he was pretty much taking a guess as to when to start it himself.
Does anybody enforce the pitch clock? That's what I want to know.
I don't think
I have hardly seen it
I think
enforced.
we've had it once.
Yeah, once
I think
or
we've
twice.
had it once. Not often, though. You're
2-2.
right.
Popped up. Foul territory again. Make that fair territory. I completely lost the ball, Nick.
I made the same mistake
lost
earlier, too.
The ball.
I made that same mistake as well.
Well, that'll do it for the Lions. They strand one in the fifth. Dolphins come to bat, trailing 5-1 when we return.
The second baseman, number 19.
Home fifth inning from the CSI softball complex. Dolphins trail 5-1 as Bridget Motley fouls away the first pitch.
Got an extensive walk-up music.
Nick, it's
Has it
been
been-
all day
Has
long.
it been,
All day long.
I always said there's got to be a time slot where you play it and then you stop it.
Once the batter is in the box, you have to stop
Yes.
it. Instead, we've been introducing the batter when they step in the box. And then when the introduction is concluded, they stop the music. That's
Yeah.
too late. Get under the bus, music crew.
4 people under the. Are we throwing 4 people under the
I think
bus
4
today?
have to go under, yeah.
Gonna need a big bus.
True. Swing and a miss by Motley for strike 3.
So
Alyssa
Costa
Acosta, the
comes
batter.
up. Started that rally, Joe, in game 1. Got the first run of the game for the Dolphins. Made it 3-1 at that point. Then, of course, the Dolphins would get 2 more on an RBI single from Balderas to make it 3-3, and they would go on to win that game 4-3.
They've gone final in Dobbs Ferry. The Mavericks win 4-0. This game becomes a bit more important for the Dolphins with that final. Dolphins have 4 conference games left after today. The Mavericks have 6.
And there's anything that we know about both baseball and softball team, we know that these teams are resilient. I always use the same word every single time, but resilient is the key word for this team. They are, they foul to the very final out, and I'm sure they're going to keep doing it again. They still have a little bit of time in this one to get back from this 4-run deficit. It's going to all come down to, can they get some hits? You see on the board, just 2 hits so far in this game.
Dolphins got a very well-pitched game in Game 1 from Marina Grenier. Really shut the Lions down for the final 5 1/3. As Acosta takes outside for ball 2. But Molloy was held to just 4 hits. Dolphins scoring 4 times on 7 hits. That's fouled away.
Alyssa, of course, celebrating her sister earlier, Nisa, on senior day here. Very nice spectacle that we had before our Game 1 coverage of today's doubleheader.
All that will be edited down in post. Make sure I have a nice, clean final product for this game as that's it out to left. The catch is made in left field by Wagle for the second out.
Yeah, you can't blame Acosta right there. It was a good hard hit ball into left field, but you mentioned it, Wagle made a nice play out in left field. Didn't have to move too much. And quickly, 2 gone in the inning for the Dolphins.
Number 34, Anissa Acosta.
Anissa Acosta will be the batter. 2 outs and the base is empty. That's popped up. Should be an easy play. It's short. And Kissinger makes the catch to retire the side. Dolphins go down 1-2-3 in the 5th. We move on to the 6th. Molloy leading 5-1. Sixth inning from the College of Staten Island with Molloy leading CSI 5-1. Lions going for a split of today's doubleheader, hoping to deny the Dolphins a sweep.
So, Joe, I just been informed that they're starting to warm up in baseball, so I'll make my final point here before I bat back. Just wanted to wish everyone here at the softball family, got some nice comments yesterday from all of our players' families that softball has here. Just want to wish everyone a very happy Easter going into tomorrow's Easter Sunday, as well as to you. I'll probably see you at baseball for the end of that game of the doubleheader. But for everyone here at softball, happy Easter, and I'll see you back on Tuesday.
Well said, Nick, and be sure to check Nick out on the baseball stream. But not before I wrap up here.
Of course.
Of course, says Nick. Smart man. He knows who's in charge. 1 ball and 1 strike the count on Casey Kissinger to begin the 6th inning. Pitch from Frenza, foul tipped off the glove of Knoth. 1-2. That's taken high. Pitch on its way from Frenza. Hit in the air, shallow left field. Balderas makes the call and the catch. 1 away. Amaya Page comes to the plate now.
The right fielder, number 33, Amaya Page.
Page at the plate in this game, 2 for 2. Skies that one foul. Page singled in the 2nd and doubled in the 4th. Came around to score in that 4th inning. Molloy jumped out to a 3-0 lead. They've scattered 2 runs across the next 4. It was that one really bad inning in the 1st for the Dolphins. In part caused by an error, though. All 3 runs were earned. As the batter who reached on that error. Did she score? In fact, she may have scored, which would make one of the runs unearned, as that's hit in the air to right, and Stalker makes the catch. 2 gone. I will check right now. It was Ducharme who reached on the error. She did score, so 2 earned runs in the 1st inning, not 3.
Second baseman, number 10, May Savage.
Back to the top of the order now for Molloy. May Savage, the batter. And Savage hits one in the air to right. And Stalker makes the catch to retire the side. A quick 1-2-3 inning for Alexandra Frenza. And for the second straight game, the Dolphins have gotten some excellent relief pitching. Frenza has CSI heading to the home sixth, trailing 5-1. Mariah Carcano leads things off for the Dolphins here in the home sixth. And she takes low for ball one. Carcano 0 for 2, hit into a double play back in the first and struck out in the third. The 1-0 to Carcano, foul back. I do believe they have just gotten underway over at baseball. One. In for a strike, 1-2. The 1-2. Low and away, 2-2. Dolphins have 2, 3, and 4 due up here in the sixth, and they likely cannot afford to go into the seventh down by 4. Need to find a way to generate some offense here. They have just 2 hits in the game. The 2-2. Low and away, ball 3. Count full on Carcano. Amanda Stalker on deck. Payoff pitch. That's it out to left, falling fast and caught. Wagle has been busy out there, and Carcano is retired for out number 1.
The right fielder, number 30, Amanda Stalker.
Amanda Stalker at the plate. Stalker 1 for 2, hits one out toward left center, and on the move. The catch is made in shallow center field by Montgomery. 2 gone.
The shortstop, number 27, Eileen Balderas.
It's been a tale of 2 completely different outings for Musa against the Dolphins this year. I mentioned how well the Dolphins hit her the first time these 2 teams met. Here today, the Dolphins have been held to just 2 hits. Limited traffic on the bases. And the big bats in the lineup have accounted for just 1 hit. Those being the Dolphins' leading hitters. Top 5 hitters in the Dolphins lineup, all the top 5 hitters in terms of batting average, have combined for just 1 hit. Balderas ahead here, 2-1. She has reached base in this game, drew a walk in the 4th, grounded out in the 2nd. And she takes low and in for ball 3. Count 3-1 on the Dolphins shortstop. If she can reach, Olivia Wanzer would be next. And the 3-1 misses down and in for ball 4. So Balderas walks for the second consecutive at bat. And now Olivia Wanzer comes to the plate.
The designated player, number 38, Olivia Wanzer.
Wanzer 0 for 2, grounded out to short and flew out in her first 2 plate appearances as she takes up and away for ball 1. The 1-0. In for a strike, throw behind Balderas, and she's back in. One and one on Wanzer. Hit well out to left center field, carrying toward the warning track, where Montgomery once again will have room, and the Dolphins are turned aside in the 6th. 1 stranded for CSI following the 2-out walk. We head to the 7th with Molloy looking for some insurance, leading 5-1.
Number 32, Alexis Montgomery.
Alexis Montgomery leads things off for Molloy here in the 7th. The Lions looking for some insurance ahead 5-1 as that slapped to third, knocked down by Warner, and she has no play. Playing that far in, there's a chance we give that a hit. I'll have to check it on replay. We'll get a quick look at it here.
Natalie Musa.
Well, that angle is of no help to me whatsoever because half the screen was covered. Natalie Musa at the plate. Looks at a strike. Here's one more look. Mostly for me. I think that probably goes down as a hit. That's it out to center, and Carcano can't make the catch. Started in, broke back, and lost the play. That's 2 in a row where it could really go either way. And I think that's going to be a double as well. That ball was smoked.
The designated player, number 2, Sherilyn Duchamp.
Back-to-back tough luck base hits. There's a big swing and a miss by Sherilyn Ducharme. The 0-1 gets away, and a run comes in to score. And now one more is coming as the Dolphins let it get away, and that is inexcusable if you're the Dolphins. We'll get one more look at how that ball got away. First, the wild pitch results in the first run coming home. And I think it was flipped through Frenza by Kanoth trying to get it to her. I'll have to move it up a bit and get a look at it one more time. We don't have the best angle here. Yeah, she flipped it. Frenza wasn't ready, so that's probably an E2. Did not need to flip the ball there, as a fly ball goes to left field.
The first baseman, number 34, Stevie Tabati.
So the Montgomery run, as that's hit to short, Balderas has it, 2 gone. They are not giving me a breather here. I'm trying to update the scoreboard and score all of this as I call the action. Jack of all trades here, as there are 2 gone in the inning, but Molloy with some valuable insurance in a game that they need to win if they want a shot at the top seed in the conference. With 2 games remaining against Stack, they certainly have a chance, including the season finale as well. Mariah Cepeda takes a strike there. There's a strike to Mariah Cepeda, 0-2. The 0-2 sent foul. Trying to take a look back here. All of the runs in this inning will be earned. That's inside. 1-2 now on Cepeda. One, 2. Hit out to left center again. And Cepeda has really hit the ball well today, but to no avail there as Carcano makes the catch to retire the side. However, 2 runs come home from Molloy. They pick up some valuable insurance. Dolphins come to bat, down to their final 3 outs, trailing by 6. Olivia Warner will lead off for the Dolphins in the home 7th inning. CSI down to their last 3 outs. Making a quick change in the lineup for, almost said Stack, but for Molloy in right field. Hannah DeFinis will take over for Amaya Page. Got that taken care of. Count 1-1 on Warner, and she held the swing there, 2-1. Dolphins would need a big inning here as the scoreboard continues to be an absolute nightmare in the sun. Warner ahead 2-1. Long look in from Musa. And that's chopped to short. Handled. And making the play was Kissinger. Warner retired for the first out. Natalia Kanoth, the batter.
The catcher, number 24, Natalia Kanoth.
Kanoth at the plate in this game, 1 for 2. She takes down and in ball 1. And that's a strike on the outside corner. Up and away, 2-1 on Kanoth. Hit out to right. Early chance for it to finish, and she makes the catch. Dolphins now down to their final out as the recently entered Lions right fielder gets her first chance.
The second baseman, number 19, Bridget Motley.
Last chance for the Dolphins is Bridget Motley. Motley 0 for 2, takes ball 1. Musa 1 out away from a complete game. As good as Marina Grenier was for the Dolphins in relief during game 1, Musa's been just about as good as the game 2 starter for Molloy. This is a game the Lions probably needed if they wanted a chance to take the number 1 seed in the ECC. 2-0 to Motley is in the dirt for ball 3. Stack now 13-3 atop the conference standings. With a win in this game, Molloy would move to 10-4. If they could get to 12-4, that would really make it a very interesting race between those two teams to end the season. Motley looks at a strike, 3-1. As I mentioned earlier, the two teams meet to end the season on April 27th. 3-1, up and away, ball 4. So Motley draws the walk. She's on base for the first time. And Alyssa Acosta will be the batter.
The left fielder, number 12, Alyssa Costa.
Costa, officially 0 for 1, did reach base on a walk in the third. First pitch on its way, and that's ball 1. The 1-0. This is low, 2-0. The 2-0. In the dirt, ball 3. Three and 0 on Acosta, and she takes a strike. 3-1. Behind Acosta, it's back to the top of the order. Anissa Acosta on deck. If Alyssa can keep the inning going. And she does. Ball 4 up high. And the Dolphins have 2 on with 2 outs here in the 7th. And that will prompt a conference in the circle here. Those insurance runs looming just a bit larger now. Dolphins would have to do quite a bit to bring the tying run to the plate. But were it not for the insurance runs, the Dolphins would be one batter away from doing just that in this spot.
The first baseman, number 34, Anissa Acosta.
Anissa Acosta, the batter. 2 outs here in the home 7th. The Dolphins trail 7-1. First pitch, ball 1. Some of these misses have not been close, and that's always concerning. The 1-0. In for a strike, 1-1. The 1-1. Hit right back to the circle. The throw to first is in time, and that will do it for Game 2. It's a Lions win as they earn a split of their doubleheader here at the College of Staten Island. It was a big win for the Dolphins in Game 1, a much-needed win, 4-3. The Lions keeping their hopes of a number 1 seed alive, defeat the Dolphins here in Game 2 by a final score of 7-1. Natalie Musa in the circle was fantastic for Molloy here in the second game. Allowed just 1 run on 2 hits. Kennedy Ruth takes the loss for the Dolphins. Lasted an inning plus before being relieved by Alexandra Frenza. Frenza was only charged with 1 run in this game. She was fantastic in relief for the College of Staten Island, much like Marina Grenier, who took the win for CSI in Game 1. This is a very possible postseason matchup if these two teams meet again a bit later down the line. But as for today, the Dolphins earn a split with Molloy. They drop Game 2 7-1. This has been Joe Foreman on the call solo today. Thank you everyone who stuck with me through all of it. And as Nick said, I echo his sentiment. To everyone who is celebrating, have a happy Easter tomorrow. Enjoy the holiday, and we'll see you back here on CSI Sportsnet on Tuesday as the Dolphins host Mercy University in what is likely going to be their biggest doubleheader as a Division II program. The Dolphins, in all likelihood, need to win both games to stay alive in the playoff chase. A lot on the line when the Dolphins meet the Mavericks here at CSI on Tuesday. As always, you can catch all of the action right here on CSI Sportsnet. Have a happy Easter, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.